Radio Ichengelo, restoring everything in Christ with love and truth. Good afternoon with the main news. I'm Clara Tsinga. The headlines. Residents of Ndola's Ndeke Township call for improvement of water supply. Ministry of Health to continue maintaining a safe environment for learners and teachers. Plus, PF aspiring candidates without grade 12 certificates do not qualify to stand. And now the news in detail. And kindly be informed that we are also streaming live on the Radio Ichengelo Facebook page. Residents of Ndola's Ndeke Township have called on Kafue Water and Sanitation Company to improve water supply in the area. Zambia has joined the rest of the globe in commemorating Water Day, and to mark this day, Radio Ichengelo has been talking to residents of Ndola on the provision of water by the utility company. Some residents of Ndeke Township say they have been drawing water from shallow wells as they have no access to piped water.
Amenshi yabeera ku one side. Amatoilets yabeera ku one side. Okunywa market. Ekwabeera amenshi. Then the other side, that's what some points where people draw, or traders go and start draw amenshi. But I really won't share that other side.
And in his message to mark this year's World Water Day, Kafue Water and Sanitation Company Director Antanasius Mwaga said that the benefit of having access to clean water can only be fully realized when there is access to improved sanitation. Engineer Mwaga said the water utility is improving its infrastructure to improve water supply.
Major values of water, because there are a number of them, a number of values which relates to the importance of water, related to social, economic, infrastructure. But above all, we have said that really infrastructure is cardinal. If you don't have infrastructure, even if in the peri-urban areas or in the rural areas, if there's no hand pump, there's no borehole, which is an infrastructure, you cannot expect to give a well-valued water supply service in that area. As for water in the past 5-6 years, that's why we have seriously.
In a related development, Zambia joins the international community in observing World Water Day, held under the theme Valuing Water. The National Water Supply and Sanitation Council, NWASCO, has called for considered efforts in recognizing the value of water. In a statement issued by company public relations manager Mpunga Simukwai, council director Kelvin Chitumbo says stakeholders should ensure that the value of water is beyond pricing and is appreciated by all, as the commodity is a finite and non-substitutable resource. Mr. Chitumbo observed that water was at the center of every country's national development, as it possesses economic, social, and environmental value, and also plays a key role in fighting pandemics such as COVID-19. He has since implored water and sanitation utilities and all stakeholders to continue making efforts towards reducing the high levels of non-revenue water, which currently stands at more than 50%.
Perspective only because it's one resource that cuts across all spheres of life and is therefore a unique resource that must be protected and well managed. We are therefore calling upon all the water and sanitation utilities and those stakeholders to continue making efforts towards reducing the high levels of non-revenue water, which currently stands at more than 50%. Managing water is a difference between the quantity of treated water distributed in the network and the quantity of water built. This continues to be a major challenge for the water supply and sanitation sector in the country. This year's theme, Valuing Water, focuses on the important role that water.
Health Minister Jonas Chanda says his ministry will not scale down surveillance efforts in maintaining a safe environment for learners and teachers. Dr. Chanda said as the school term winds down, the government will not wane on its resolve of fighting the pandemic in schools. He has also appealed to parents to continue reinforcing the COVID-19 safety guidelines by consistently encouraging the use of face masks, maintenance of hand hygiene, avoiding overcrowding, staying home, and physical distancing. And Dr. Chanda has revealed that the country has recorded 86 new cases out of 4,098 tests conducted in the last 24 hours, bringing the cumulative number of cases to 86,535. He revealed that the country has recorded 3 new COVID-19 deaths. The Health Minister further urged members of the public to remain adherent to the public health guidance if the country is to maintain the gains made in halting community transmission as indicated by the reducing positivity rate. Pope Francis says Christians have a duty to help people know Jesus. The Pope said Christians have a huge responsibility in communities. In his weekly Angelus address, Francis said the faithful too must respond to a life of service, one that takes upon closeness and compassion. According to the Catholic News Agency website, Pope Francis gave his Angelus address via live stream from inside his study in the Apostolic Palace after Italy increased coronavirus restrictions around the country last week. Patriotic Front PF says aspiring candidates without grade 12 certificates do not qualify to stand on the party ticket in the August 12 general elections. PF Secretary General Davis Miller said the court gave guidance on the matter, which the party would follow. Mr. Miller also said the Patriotic Front was also concerned with the rural constituencies and has since relaxed rules on the closing date for councillors applying in rural areas. He further said that the party has now a task to look for people with grade 12 certificates in rural parts. Mr. Miller said this after having a meeting with aspiring candidates at Mora Hotel at the weekend.
Mr. Qualifications for someone to stand as a member of parliament, as a councillor or council chairman, with grade 12 certificate. So we will explain to them what constitutes a grade 12 certificate, as well as the equivalent of the work. You will recall that the Constitutional Court dealt with this issue on the grade 12 certificate and then the equivalent. So it is important that as a party, we explain to our members how the process is. If someone doesn't have the grade 12, it means that
Meanwhile, Kamfinsa constituency aspiring candidate Kelvin Jubilee has described those circulating information that he has failed to produce a grade 12 certificate as people who are afraid of their own shadow. A circulation which has gone viral on social media platforms indicates that Mr. Chipili has been knocked out of the parliamentary race after failing to produce a grade 12 certificate, which is a mandatory requirement for anyone intending to stand. But Mr. Chipili has dispelled the report, saying he has a grade 12 certificate and that he is only waiting to obtain the confirmation letter from the Examinations Council of Zambia. And Mr. Chipili has rated his chances of being adopted on the Patriotic Front ticket as high.
feeling the shadow of themselves. Everything is what they're trying to explain now is the confirmation data from this is it. But I need to change it.
How do you rate the chances of being adopted by the ruling team?
The chances are very high. That's why we have seen those people in this grant that they are going over the social media and distributing source information so that they can be aware who would be our voters, especially in that case.
In sports news, Ankara, Muflera and Chibuluma golf clubs are expected to participate in this weekend's three-day Sanlam Classic Golf Tournament in Lusaka. The Professional Golfers Association of Zambia said Lusaka Golf Club will bring Zambia's elite golfers ranging from professionals to amateurs and juniors. Meanwhile, Professional Golfers Association of Zambia Tournament Director Haroda Dutti has announced that Malawan pro golfer Paul Chidale will participate in the Sanlam Classic. Dutti has also saluted Sanlam Life Insurance for supporting Zambian golf. This news broadcaster comes to you in the community service of Radio Chengelo, the compliments of Moose Milling and Go TV Broadcasting Zambia Limited. And now the international news is monitored from the BBC. The leading opposition presidential candidate in Congo, Brazzaville, has died hours after polls closed after becoming seriously ill with COVID-19. His campaign director, Guy Price Pape Colelis, died in a medical plane as he was being evacuated to France. The electoral law does not annul the election if one of the candidates dies. Mr. Colelis, who was diabetic, was one of the 6 candidates running against President Denis Sassou Nguesso, 77, who has been in power since 1979, except for a 5-year period after losing elections in 1992. Here is the BBC with a roundup of stories.
The Doma for the late President John Magufuli, who died last week. Several African heads of state are attending the event. The Tanzanian authorities say Mr. Magufuli, a coronavirus skeptic, died from heart failure. Athiman Tulia reports.
In Dodoma, people have already gathered in large numbers, but the Prime Minister has announced that today there will be no queues for viewing the body, but instead the casket will be driven around the stadium for people to catch a final glimpse of the late president. Over the weekend, tens of thousands of residents of the commercial city of Dar es Salaam flooded the city roads to wave as his casket was driven around, and many more flocked to the main stadium where his body was laid for public viewing. The authorities have today confirmed that there was a stampede and an unspecified number of people were injured.
Suspected Islamist militants have attacked 3 villages in Niger, close to the border with Mali. Up to 40 people are reported to have been killed. The attacks follow less than a week after gunmen killed 58 people in the same region. West Africa's Sahel region has suffered worsening insecurity caused by militants linked to Al-Qaeda and ethnic militias. Trials in the United States of AstraZeneca's coronavirus vaccine have confirmed that it's safe and effective. No one who received the jab became seriously ill with COVID-19, and it proved nearly 80% effective at stopping symptomatic cases. There were no problems regarding blood clots, fears of which sparked temporary suspensions in parts of the EU and elsewhere. Professor Sarah Gilbert from Oxford University played a key role in developing the AstraZeneca jab.
Very pleased to see these results, again reporting on the safety and high efficacy of this vaccine, so it's really good news to see that. I would say that the balance remains hugely in favour of using this vaccine. Across Europe there are thousands of deaths a day now occurring from COVID, and it's really important that we get the chance to protect them.
To end the main news, a reminder of the headlines. Residents of Ndola Zandeke Township are called for the improvement of water supply. The Ministry of Health to continue maintaining a safe environment for learners and the teachers. Last, the Patriotic Front says aspiring candidates without grade 12 certificates do not qualify to stand. For these and more stories, you can visit our Facebook page, log on to Facebook and like the Radio Changala page and link to radiochangala.radio12345.com. There we end the main news. Good afternoon.